Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to W.M.S.T podcast episode number 82. I am your host, Syed. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the audio links, as tonight it's going to be a huge episode, so make sure you watch all the parts and share all the videos. Here is my co-host for tonight. It's the editor-in-chief, Ziggler. What up, Ziggler?
Yo, what up? This has been one of the craziest Saturdays ever.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a jam-packed episode.
Yeah.
So let's get into part 2 with our wrestling talk. SummerSlam is this weekend, and there's been a lot of speculation as to what's going to go down due to a lot of plans apparently being shifted. Like even the main event itself of Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. WWE hasn't even decided who's going to win that match. So that's kind of going to be a last-minute decision that WWE has to make. As for the card as a whole, I mean, obviously, let's just kind of start talking about Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I honestly don't know who's going to win because WWE doesn't know who's going to win. I think I said a few weeks ago I would be okay with either one winning. The more I think about it, I feel like Drew should maybe retain because Randy has had his time as champion. And I feel like Drew's reign is just getting started. I've been enjoying his title run, even though it's been in the most unfortunate circumstances. So I feel like it's kind of unfair, the hand Drew was dealt. But I think I would ultimately, if Randy won, I wouldn't be mad. I would still be okay with that, but I feel like Drew should win, in my opinion. Universal Championship, Braun versus The Fiend. I think The Fiend wins this Sunday. Like, this feud has been going on forever. I mean, it has its moments. It's entertaining. It's like the talking point of SmackDown every week. So, but still, I feel like the story needs something fresh now. Like it's ran its course. So. But I think The Fiend wins and ends this thing. Sasha Banks versus Asuka and Bayley versus Asuka. It's going to be interesting seeing who goes first. I think Bayley lost the Beat the Clock challenge on last Friday's SmackDown, so she's going to go first against Asuka. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Asuka's going to win both titles. Why not? I feel like since they love their double champs, I feel like Asuka is probably going to win both championships, and they'll just go from there.
She's going to vacate one.
Oh, I hope not, because that's the dumbest babyface move.
I know.
In the history of, I mean, in kayfabe, it's like wrestlers. The more titles they win, the more money they get, or if they win a match, the more matches they win, the more money they get. Like that's like the kayfabe explanation of why a wrestler does what he does, right? So it makes no sense if a wrestler was like, you know what, I don't want to win this championship. I'm gonna let other people have an opportunity. It's at some points you can't do that stuff. That just makes you look bad, and we're gonna discuss more about that. But yeah,
I mean, they didn't do that with Becky Lynch though. She lost the title to Charlotte.
Yeah, because Becky Lynch, one of the few, I guess, good baby faces we had, didn't do that.
And they make Keith Lee look so stupid, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. And Seth Rollins versus Dominic. I mean, Dominic's in-ring debut in a street fight, it's unbelievable. Like you watch, I mean, some of you may have watched this man when he was a boy during the Eddie and Rey Mysterio feud when they're fighting over his custody, and he was like maybe 10 years old at 2005 SummerSlam. I mean, time passes by, and now he's making his debut at SummerSlam against one of the best workers. I mean, yeah, Rollins has a reputation of being known as a dangerous worker at times, but I feel like because we haven't seen Dominic in the ring like that much. Like maybe we've seen like glimpses. So this is going to be a true test for Dominic, and this is definitely one of the more interesting matches. But Seth Rollins is winning for sure. I mean, if Dominic wins, this will be one of the best debuts if his performance is great as well. But I think they'll keep Seth Rollins from losing. I don't think you want to lose to a rookie like that. So Seth will probably win I think it's definitely going to be a tough match. It's going to be street fights, a lot of spots. So it's going to be definitely a fun one to watch. Street Profits are probably going to win against Andrade and Angel Garza. They need to. I don't know where the storyline is heading with Andrade and Angel Garza. If they're going to break up, just let them break up. Because the teases have been like way too much. Like they've been doing the same thing over and over again. I think Street Profits win. Apollo Crews and MVP. Apollo Crews, no doubt. I mean, MVP is good on the mic, but his ring work has been so he needs to. I mean, I would have rather seen Shelton Benjamin or Bobby Lashley challenge for the title, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. I mean, it's tough because Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose had one of the worst experiences any human can have this past weekend when a idiot fan, or sorry, I shouldn't call him a fan, a absolute worst scumbag of a human entered Sonya's house and literally tried to kidnap her, and Mandy was with her when that happened. I mean, thank God they're safe, and they're gonna be facing off against each other at SummerSlam. I mean, in real life, these two are best friends, and the stipulation is now changed to hair versus hair match. But I think that was changed last minute. Now it's gonna be loser leaves WWE match. So I mean, this is good for one of them because they'll get to lose, have a good match, lose, and take some time off, to mentally, recoup. But yeah, I feel like both of them deserve time to recoup after something horrific like that. But I think Mandy's going to win this one. And I think Matt Riddle versus King Corbin was added to the pre-show last minute, and Matt Riddle's going to win. I mean, we already know this is being used as an enhancement feud for Matt Riddle to, get some easy wins. So yeah, Matt Riddle wins. So Ziggler, what are your takes on some of these SummerSlam matches and your predictions?
Yeah, I haven't been really following Raw or SmackDown ever since COVID, but I would see every once in a while on Instagram some of the stuff that's happening. So I've been kind of following the McIntyre versus Orton, and it's been a kind of a good feud, and I'm actually really thinking that they're gonna have Orton win. I mean, whether you like it or not, he's still one of the best wrestlers in WWE history. So, and since he's been so loyal to them, I just think they're just gonna give it to him and maybe give it back to McIntyre when there's live crowds again. Because yes, this COVID era is not doing anything for Drew. It sucks because it's pretty much almost ruining his title reign, because in front of a live crowd it would be so much better, especially his win over Lesnar at Mania. But yeah, I think Orton is gonna win that. And for the rest of the card, I mean, I really don't really care about the rest of the card, to be honest. But I am looking forward to a Dominic versus Seth Rollins. Again, like we saw Dominic a little bit at Survivor Series when Ray and Brock Lesnar were in a match, and he looked pretty good doing that 619 and Frog Splash. That was pretty good. And I saw when Seth Rollins beat the hell out of him with that kendo stick. That was pretty brutal. So I hope Dominic is good in the ring. We really haven't really seen him, so we can't say. But I really hope this is a good match, and and WWE wouldn't do this if he wasn't ready. So hopefully he's ready. And I have no idea what's going on with Sasha, Bayley, or Asuka. I have no idea. Is it like a triple threat match, or is she facing them like one at a time? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, so since both of them are champs, both of them have the Raw and the SmackDown Women's Championship respectively. So Asuka's gonna face them both 1-on-1. So Bayley's gonna go first, because she lost her match, a beat the clock challenge, so she's gonna go first. And then later in the night, Asuka's gonna face Sasha, who's gonna be the fresher opponent.
Oh, all right. All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't set up freaking Bailey versus Sasha for the titles, for the two titles. So maybe they're just going to keep them on them two, so they can have a feud eventually. Because we've been waiting for this feud for a long time. They really haven't done it since NXT. So I guess it'll be kind of cool. But I would love for Asuka to beat Bailey, because I'm not the biggest Bailey fan of her reign. I mean, her reign's been pretty boring. So, but Sasha just started, just got the championship, and she's had a history of losing the championship very, very quickly. So they take it off Sasha this quick. I mean, that would not look good again for that to happen. So if Asuka were to take a title, I would like it to be Bailey. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. The card is there's a few good matches on there, but yeah, other than that, it's just an ass show, like all the other COVID WWE shows with their fake crowd. I hate that crowd.
Yeah, speaking of fake crowds,
Oh yeah,
the Thunderdome is the new step in WWE's attempt to bring back some kind of normalcy to these events. It looks weird, but I'm intrigued, to be honest. This experiment, I feel like, can kind of work. I can see where they're going with this, because NBA, like we talked about last week, has been doing the virtual crowds, and we extensively talked about this last week at how this would work, and we kind of got to see what it was like. So the crowd noise is piped in, which, some places it looks bad, to some places it gives like a feeling of, okay, there are people live reacting to it. I feel like I need to see a few more shows before I give my definitive opinion on the piping of the noise. But the LED board with the fans, it looks a bit weird. Like, I do see where they're going with it, because NBA has been doing like virtual seats, and they just like, it's like a CGI kind of green screen behind the fans, and it's like they're sitting down. But what WWE has done is literally, it's like the world's. I gotta give credit to our other co-host, Cam, for this. He said this looks like the world's biggest Zoom call, and that's probably the best description for what it is. I think it's gonna take some use to, I'm gonna have to get used to it for a bit, but it definitely makes the show feel more fresher. Like, the plexiglass in the performance center looked very bad, to be honest. Like, everybody got bored of it pretty fast, and I'm kind of glad WWE's trying something different, and I heard this is going to be like it for the rest of the year, and I'm okay with it. And hopefully by January 2021 for Royal Rumble, we can have an actual crowd there, because AEW is going to have a small crowd coming in. Like 10 to 15% of the arena is going to be filled. So hopefully by January 2021, we can get to a point where we can fill out at least 50% of capacity. That's my hope for 2021. Ziggler, what are your thoughts on the Thunder? They're calling it the Thunderdome setup.
Yeah, if I wanted to see a Thunderdome, I would watch Mel Gibson and Max be on Thunderdome. But it's something. It's different. I didn't watch SmackDown, but I saw some of the pictures and maybe like a video or two, and I don't know, I mean, it kind of looks better than the Performance Center, I guess. It might be a little better, but I just think it looks kind of distracting from the wrestling. So, but I haven't watched a SmackDown, so I guess I'll find out tomorrow if it's going to be distracting or not. Seeing all those like all those Zoom calls, like a lot of them are going to be on there. So I'm not sure how good that's going to look, but I mean, they did it on SmackDown, right? So I guess it must work. I guess people are like not like bashing on it. So yeah, I really don't have like a lot to say on it other than yeah, I guess we'll find out tomorrow that if it's gonna be good or not.
Yeah, SummerSlam is definitely going to be an interesting experiment to see how, because probably a lot of people didn't watch SmackDown. Like, definitely most people will watch SummerSlam tomorrow, and yeah, we'll definitely get a lot of opinions tomorrow. And speaking of opinions, we have a lot of opinions about some of the things that happened on NXT Takeover 30, which Natalia thought was the 30th anniversary of NXT Takeover. It's like the 30 years of NXT Takeover.
Yeah.
No, guys, this is just the 30th event named Takeover. So I was really distracted during this event because DC Fandom was going on. I'm going to be honest right now.
Yeah, me too.
But some of my takeaways from what I was able to pay attention to was the fact that Pat McAfee had the best match on a takeover card. Are you kidding me? Maybe it's because I wasn't paying full attention to the show. Maybe there was a match that was definitely better than this, but this was the match I saw from like beginning to end, and Pat McAfee looked incredible. Like, he looked great. The training with John Cena's trainer has been paying off. The Pat McAfee, I mean, the dude definitely can go in the ring for sure. And Adam Cole, obviously, he's an absolute pro. Carried Pat McAfee to the best match possible. They told a really solid story. Pat McAfee had that beautiful swanton from the top rope onto a bunch of people. Very nice debut for Pat McAfee. And I like how he missed the punt and, he got injured, had to sell the injury. He did a great job selling the injury. Then, and then Pat McAfee did his thing. Adam Cole did his thing and got the W, which I expected. I'm glad Adam Cole got the W and Pat McAfee got a good debut out of it. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him step inside the ring once in a while because he's definitely an attraction. The Pat McAfee show is one of the most popular sports talk shows going on right now. He brings a lot of eyeballs to the product for sure. And there's people who don't even watch wrestling talking about Adam Cole. People who would have never thought, heard of Adam Cole are talking about him, talking about, oh, he's so arrogant, he's so short, blah, blah, blah. And these people are probably going to watch this performance and be like, okay, I get why Adam Cole is so arrogant because he's that damn good. But yeah, that's what I thought about that match. And I know Ziggler has a lot of opinions of the Killer Kross versus Keith Lee match, which, I've been saying from the beginning. I feel like the feud is a bit rushed, and I feel like Kross winning. Because here's the thing: if Kross doesn't win, it makes him look weak, and they're making him look strong. But they kind of book yourself into a corner when you book two guys against each other who are, supposed to look strong right now because they're the future of your brand. But yeah, I was not happy seeing Keith Lee lose both titles. One he lost voluntarily, and the other one he lost because Karrion Kross needs a mega push because he's the next big thing. I feel bad for Keith Lee. I hope there's good things in his future. The man is absolutely talented, hardworking. You couldn't find a better individual to represent your company. So I hope the best for him in his future, whether it's continuing on NXT or going to the main roster. I just hope, things look good for him going forward, and he deserves to be booked better. That's all. And Ziggler, I know you have a lot of thoughts on this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first I want to get to like the matches too, and yeah, I was pretty distracted too from the matches because of DC fandom. I didn't really see the Pat McAfee match, but I saw some of it, and it was pretty good. Pat McAfee, he actually showed that he can actually wrestle, and he was good. He actually had a good performance with Adam Cole. Yeah, but my matches of the night are probably the ladder match for the North American title. That was pretty great. The only thing that kills it is the fucking crowd, man. I hate this no crowd shit. So if this was front of like 10,000 people, everyone would just go insane. It was a great match with tons of spots, and I think the right man did win in Damian Priest. He finally got his first title NXT, and yeah, it was a great match, and can't wait to see what he does next. And then the other match of the night for me was Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. Yeah, that was a really good match. I mean, I was kind of surprised a little bit. I never really liked watching Dakota Kai's stuff. I watched her at Takeover versus Tegan Knox, but other than that, like not really. But this was a really good match. She surprised me, and we all know Io Shirai is one of the best women's wrestlers right now. So, and Dakota Kai kept up with her, and it was a really good performance by those two. And now the Keith Lee versus Killer Kross thing. Okay, so you have Keith Lee winning. He had him won both titles, the North American title and the NXT title. Then the following week, he vacates the North American title. That is one of the most stupid and lazy things you could do with that. I mean, if you're just going to book him as double champion, why would you have him vacate the title the next week? That is literally the stupidest goddamn thing you'd ever do. It was really bad. And then yeah, like you said, the feud between Killer Kross and Keith Lee felt really, really rushed. And they just freaking pushed Killer Kross to the fucking moon. I mean, he's been here for like 5 months, maybe 4, and he literally squashed Ciampa in your house. It was like a 5-minute match, and he just killed him. And Ciampa is one of the best, and he was a former champion for a long ass time. But when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, this is like a real deal. Like they're gonna strap a rocket on him and just fucking push him to the moon, and they did. I did not. When we pretty much knew he was gonna fight for wrestle Keith Lee for the NXT title, but I'm not sure if he was gonna win. And he did win, which I was like, that was one of the stupidest things he ever could have done. And this is almost like a repeat of what happened to The Fiend. Because at SummerSlam, he defeated Finn Balor. It was one of like the greatest things about that SummerSlam, when he defeated Finn Balor. And then after that, he realized, oh, he's over as hell right now. Let's just give him a Universal title. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you have to build these people up. Like, have Killer Kross face Finn Balor at TakeOver 30. Have you build him up to be this unstoppable threat and actually give Keith Lee a good lengthy title run. You know, like he was only NXT champion for not even a month. And yeah, I just think it's The Fiend all over again. They pushed him way too fast and way too soon. This guy just got here, and I know you guys want to make him look strong, and you can make him look strong without giving him the title. And if you wanted to give him a title right away, give him the North American title. Just have Keith Lee have his moment. I mean, he literally just won the NXT title. He was double champion for a week, and then he was no champion of the month later. It was such a stupid thing, and they're probably gonna. And the reason why they did this is probably because they're gonna put him to the main roster because Vince likes to do that for some reason. Like, oh, this guy's really over in NXT. Yeah, let's put him at WWE. Let's put him in the main roster. And it just sucks because they can do so much more in NXT. And Keith Lee was doing great in NXT. He was at the top of the world in NXT, and now he's going to be a mid-carder on SmackDown. And I do not want that to happen. So yeah, I hope that does not happen, and I just think the booking for this was really stupid and lazy.
Yeah, I agree with every word that you said, and yeah, that Finn Balor thing makes sense to me as well, because they could have avoided Finn being injured that soon in his main roster run if they had him feud with either a legend who wasn't a champion, or had him go after a mid-card title. Who was the U.S. champion in 2016 around SummerSlam time? Was it Rusev?
2016, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Rusev because he lost to Roman Reigns at Night of Champions.
Was it AJ Styles?
2016, no, because he faced Cena in the one-on-one match.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think it was Rusev.
Yeah, I think it was Rusev. Yeah, Rusev probably. Or Kevin Owens.
Yeah, something like Rusev versus Finn Balor would have worked back then. And an example for Aaron Kross, I just remembered his name, Karrion Kross, would be going after the North American Championship instead of the NXT Championship. I mean, if you booked it,
that.
Yeah, if you booked it right, you could have had something like you would have done Keith Lee versus Killer Kross. Because if, let's say you wanted to do, because Takeover 30 is a big deal, right? So okay, you want a big time match. Okay, let's make Keith Lee wrestle twice. Let's do Killer Kross versus Keith Lee, and let's do Damian Priest versus Keith Lee. 2 matches, and maybe Keith Lee loses one, but he keeps one title. They could have done something like that.
Yeah, he loses the North American title to Killer Kross, and then he wins against Damian Priest.
Perfect.
It's that easy. Or you can face Finn Balor. It's that easy.
We literally just booked Keith Lee in 5 minutes.
If you want him to lose a title, don't vacate it. Just let him lose that takeover against Killer Kross and then win versus Finn Balor. It's that easy.
I know that was supposed to make Keith Lee look like a really good guy, like a really swell guy who looks after the boys, but all it did was make him look like a idiot, to be honest. Because I mean, as a babyface, you're supposed to understand, I got to be the most dominant wrestler. Like, I'm a double champ. All challenges are welcome. You got to come get this championship away from me. I'm not just gonna give it to you. And it definitely made Keith Lee look really bad. And hopefully they rebuild him, because the man deserves way better.
Yeah, it really sucks, man, because he was on top of NXT for like a month.
A month, man.
Probably not even a month. And now he has no title. He had 2 titles in the span of a month. He has none. And it made him look so stupid vacating that title.
Yeah, NXT had a lead writer just quit recently. I'm thinking maybe it has to do something with the creative. Maybe the NXT creative is falling apart. Because I can't explain Keith Lee being booked so bad other than the fact that maybe NXT writing team is just not good anymore.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.